Good morning. Good morning. I'm back in hard planning here for the Canadian Titanic. Just brainstorming, just thinking about all those connections, like how, you know what I mean? How can an iceberg, they didn't have binoculars apparently, they were supposed to have binoculars, it's 3 bells, iceberg dead ahead. And then I keep turning on the telly and there's Minnesota, which is where the Mighty Ducks was filmed, and they play ice hockey. There is a bunch of mentally disturbed people running around saying that we want to get ice out of Minnesota. It's like, you've got to leave Minnesota, because Minnesota, I think, is pretty known for ice. There's ice all around you. There's snow. That's ice. Even if it's snow, still ice. It's just more particleized. It's in a particle form. It isn't consolidated as much as, say, there was a pond of ice. It is dispersed and separate, and so it creates snow. But it is technically, snow is still a form of ice. Ice being the fact that there is just 3 stages of water. There's the vapor stage, there is the liquid stage, and there is the solid stage. The solid stage of ice of water is called ice, and even when it's snow, you know what I mean? And if you actually get snow and you were to compress it together, it would form ice. Yeah, a lot of people protesting because there are people, harassing and going around with guns and stuff like that. And I guess I would take that more seriously if I ever saw those people protest against the drug dealers that was actually selling ice as well. I also think there are too many people using this word. Like, it's getting overused, and I think we're being shown that just gently. I think watching a bunch of protesters in snow gear walking through the snow on icy streets saying, "Get rid of ice out of Minnesota," and then watching ICE agents slip on ice in Minnesota, and then knowing that literally the only thing, no, it's Minneapolis. Fuck. Oh, well, there we go. I was going to say the only thing I know Minnesota for is that's where the Mighty Ducks were, but the Mighty Ducks were in Minneapolis. So are they next to each other? I don't know. I'm from down here. But it's like but I think basically has formed into they're just like, fix this. But they won't ever be happy with the, like, well, it's like you go, well, this is what's causing all those things. They're like, no, we have a better answer. And it basically does just resolve to rainbows and unicorns. And they really, 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 really tried that. And the entire people of America for a long time, because it's 8 years, because this is what happens is you didn't let Donald Trump be president the first time he was president. Then he had his presidency stolen by, like, a robotic fucking corporate structure, which is what you would describe as fascism. Okay, it's reliant on a complete technocracy absolute censorship, for targeted algorithmic, like micromanaged, like literally the oligarchs of your country just trying to step by step, lead like livestock, not just your country, the entire country, down this bullshit. Like literally like a delusional fucking expedition set forth by the Democratic Americans to go and literally find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Because I think, but Joe Biden, maybe in some delirium, some medication-induced delirium, believes that he spoke to a leprechaun, and so he's taken the entire world on that journey, and Donald Trump is just getting us back. You know what I mean? And yes, there is I'm already there. I'm like, let's get him out. We should be pre-gaming to get him out before it gets too much. But then it's like, you have to let him do the job that you weren't there protesting the other thing. So it's like, because the people selling ice, they've also got guns. They're also causing mayhem. They're also removing people from your society. It's all the same. And so collectively, the United States of America, on both sides, one side is supporting people that distribute drugs, and kill people and the other side is just removing those people and getting some of it wrong with guns and and there is never any agreement. It is just 100% a team-based thing, and there's no one, just these low-hanging fruit of just like, well, what about that? It's the same word. It's the same word. It's the same exact thing on the opposite side. Nothing. And no one, it's like, if you saw Mark Ruffalo, I don't know what that man is thinking. Again, it's only ever rainbows and unicorns. If there was something substantial, but you're just piling up people on the front line of a war that doesn't need to be had. That's not and I really do think it's like, we, as British people, as English, but whatever, we maintained our structure. We know how to do politics. Although most people, it's forgotten. It's because of all of you. So you've deteriorated where I live here, but luckily there's enough of it back home and things like that. You need to build. It's like, you need to respond and build the structure that is being exposed as the inevitable progressive step. So it's like, you need to hit both sides of this and do something about it. If there is enough demand, you can't ignore the other half of the thing. This is what's really where I can feel it in Australia. We're waking up from this American fucking hangover slowly but surely. And we're like, oh yeah, of course we have to listen to the other side and not just constantly, smash this thing together. Or at least I am. And there's never an attempt to do that. It's like, you have to ignore. If Trump's sending people with guns out and doing these things, it's like, that's because those people have more than likely sat there for 2 decades and watched their country be infiltrated by people, drugs, sexual over-sexualization, dangerous fucking welfare fucking thing, and communism. And it's like, then you had to go yeah, people really don't like communism. It's like, that's not the place. And it's the same here. It's like our Labor Party, they're just doing the same thing. They're just like, we're just going to keep wheeling fucking communism into the room. And I'm like, well, we're just going to keep pointing out how fucking stupid it is. You can't socialize people to be good. Like socially subsidize that, like, or like encourage, like it doesn't work. Because most people find goodness by being alone. They find their true and right path after everyone stops trying to help them. And that's usually, it's a family or friends. It's like then they slip off the thing and then they pull themselves back up. So the over-socialized systems are causing this because you're keeping people perpetually in this like safety zone of a destruction of culture. Like you're paying them to deteriorate. And this is why it's like, this is why these phenomena happen. It's like, why? I mean, basically, if say America in Minnesota right now, there was a united front, okay? So, all right, you don't like the selective racial-based ICE people removing people that don't have immigration and customs, whatever, all that. Okay, we know you don't. So why instead of disrupting them, they're going to get it done. Because this is the illusion. It's like you're preventing them doing their job. Yeah, but they're going to do their job because they've said they're going to do it. So you're just making their job harder, which makes them more pent up, which makes the chances of like lethal retaliation higher, not to you, but to the people they're actually processing. They're absolutely frustrated. It's like you're disrupting people that are at work. And you're not working, but you could be. And this is really the thing. It's like the democratic system in America has resulted to like just to protest culture. Because the protesting's easy. It's you can write it on a fucking post-it note, That's literally basically the whole thing. Like, write something, shake it at people, call them names, and disrupt them. That's protest. But there is 1,000 other fucking things you could do. And when we're at a stage where it's like when half of your country is calling things like an invasion, it's not calling it like, like, I don't know, racial. It's like they're calling it an invasion. So they're stopping an invasion. For most of human history, most of British history, it's like if there's an invasion, this goes, protest would not have worked. The only reason protest does work is because of democracy and because of our system, not yours, ours. It doesn't work in your country. Clearly, it's not working in ours because they're all constantly inspired and projected your bullshit. But there is 1,000 other things that you could do. And this is like they're hard. And this is why it's like, but you've lost control of the government because you look what you did. But those people are kind of crying to the government to stop. That's a governmental thing that you do by protesting. You can just do the job, but that would require voluntary commitment to a cause. And there is no, it's like that. This is this like, well, I'm not getting paid. I'm not going to do it. And I've watched this. I've been a subcontractor for the majority of my life, or a contractor, or my own business where I, price my own work. Sometimes that means I do really well, and sometimes that means I lose money. There is no hourly rate. This is the end of that thing, or this is the inevitable culmination of that hourly rate, socialized whatever policy. Because all those people were basically like, no, I'll wave signs at people and fucking spit on them and yell at them and drive my car into them and try them, but I won't do any work. It's like if you collectivize, you can ice those people out as well to somewhere safe rather than to jail. You know, that would be, it's like, and that's the frustration point from the Republican side, from the Trump supporters, is that the government just prioritized bringing them in, nothing else. Didn't ask anyone, didn't do it. It's like, because that's a job. And that's a job that no one's doing because there isn't a position there. Because traditionally, when things need to be done, you need to do them voluntarily, and you have socialized and, you know, up this minimum wage, and you're actually worse than we are. We're more socialized in Australia. So we have even less chance of this happening because no one will do anything unless they're getting paid some consistent thing, because you're all enslaved by a false, you know, housing market. And it's like, this is the end of days. As soon as it's like the Republicans, basically, they got you halfway there in their flavor. I don't know why I'm holding that up. The job of the Democratic Party is to get the country back with your flavor. And you have to do it like in a way that requires you to voluntarily commit good works to your country. And good works does not lie in constantly badgering the other side. That's a part of it. You know, you want to be constantly projecting and focusing on, eventually, when you can, there's going to be a point where you can, and I'm doing that in a different way. And I don't even live in America. But that's for my interest and the interest of my people and my nations and all these things. Like, I'm basically going, yeah, he's a good king. Donald Trump's a really good king. Terrible president, where it's going to turn out is terrible, because a president is a different thing than a king. But he's being an amazing fucking king right now. And so as soon as he's done there, I'm clearing the way for him to land in the throne in Scotland. And you don't believe in thrones. You know what I mean? So, and then I think there's a pretty good candidate there in RFK to land in it as well. As a president. But as a president of America that is broke, that is destitute, that is infighting, that is divided beyond repair, like beyond repair. You've got to do things. And by doing things, it's like you've got to plan through and come back together. And it's like that is difficult, I think. It's near on impossible as I've said before, in a nation that was formed from rebellion. So the whole thing is polluted by rebellion, not by unity. If you think of the United Kingdom, right? We fought wars together and done all these things. It's like the United States have never been a United States. They haven't got there yet. They wrote checks that they couldn't cash. You've never been united. You were united for one thing, to overthrow us. And then look, you've been tug-of-warring your fucking selves to death and the rest of the world to death for a very long time. And we're all fucking sick of it. And the problem is, like, in America, you may think that the conversation is, oh, Trump's this, Trump's this. And I see people in comment sections go, oh, we're sorry, Trump's such a tyrant. Oh, my God, he's doing this. Oh, my God, no. But it's like, no, the United States of America is a filthy shithole, right? It's a filthy shithole that specialized in the art form of propaganda. That's really it. They produce the highest level, most consistent, you know, and most destructive propaganda, super fucking power that has ever fucking existed. And that's who you are, Mark Ruffalo. Whether you admit it or not, that is who you fucking are. You're on the fucking payroll. Right alongside fucking Jared Leto, right alongside fucking I don't know. All the others. But that's all it is. It's all checks. It's like, it reminds me of that fucking Catch Me If You Can, Leonardo DiCaprio. The United States just sending fucking checks out, making self-indulgent propaganda of United States imperialism. You never pivoted into something substantial, and you're now surrounded by countries that you've fucked with, and you can't even agree on your own thing. The Democratic Party were moving people as well. They're the people. They've moved them in. And the Republicans are moving them out. If you want to get to the core of fucking, critical race theory, which you all like to fucking go on, so that's critical race theory. A bunch of white people arguing about moving fucking coloured people around. Oh, we'll move them here. Well, then they'll fucking this, and we'll move them there, and then we'll fucking move them here, and we'll just keep having a democratic fucking election. You can't even see through what you're doing because there's just so much division. Basically, the problem with a two-sided party system, which we have here as well, traditionally it's been different than this, but we're now stuck in the weeds with you. But it's like, the problem with it is you always have a convenient enemy, and that really is doing all the heavy of all these political parties. It's like, once you all collectively understand that the enemy is the exceptionalism of the United States, and you introduce self-denigration to your culture, we are shit. We are shit. Look at what we have done. Not look at what they have done. Look at what we have done. The British Empire, we're a long way down that fucking road. And you are still on the pipe. And quite like an ice addict, someone on methamphetamine, that is the absolute fucking, calling card of someone on ice is that self-input, like, well, I'm fucking amazing, man. We should go and fucking protest against these fucking terror fascist fucking ice agents, man. Yeah, and it used to be weed, like, yeah, man. And the weed smokers wouldn't do anything. They just wouldn't rock up to a protest. But all the socialized meth heads and, ADD medicated people, which is meth, which is ice, they're very fucking organized. And you can see that twitchy fucking thing in them. The woman that was killed, so her partner, you can see it. Hey, big boy. Hey, big boy. Like, a camera, it's like, it's an amazing tool, but it's not a bulletproof shield. It's like this is now the culture of your country, and it's being, again, propagandized and distributed by the celebrities who caused all the problems around the fucking world. Because America can't tell stories about pre-American times. That's part of its fucking MO. It's like, nah. We tell stories about comic book fucking heroes. And Mark Ruffalo, you've been on that fucking train, mate. You've been Hulk-handing your way across the USA. And it's like that they haven't had enough time. America isn't old enough. The culture is so divergent. It's so isolated. It's the original echo chamber, and that's what they've projected around the world. You can't even see how much of an echo chamber you live in if you're a United States citizen, because you live in an echo chamber. That's part of it. And then you've projected that out across the entire fucking world and put everybody in a fucking echo chamber. With just a slight sprinkling, like fucking Salt Bay of fucking Americana fucking love, the love of fucking USA. It's bullshit. We're going to pop the bubble all over the place. You are a filthy fucking shit nest. And in my determination, Donald Trump's attempting to clean it up. I would like to see the equivalent fucking opposition attempting to clean it up in their way. But as long as you keep just fucking, you know, waving signs and fucking and pepper spraying and fucking Molotov cocktailing and riot fucking bullshit fucking protesting whatever, you're not going to get anywhere. Donald Trump exists. He's like, and this is the craziest thing of all is like, Donald Trump is more like a Marvel fucking superhero than any of the fucking actors that play Marvel superheroes. But the culture then rejects him. There is just no consistency. It's like a child trying to avoid cleaning their room. And I've been getting children to do, clean their rooms and things for 20 years. That's what you are. And you are our child. You're the British Empire's fucking, what's his name? Brooklyn Beckham. That is who you are. Yeah, you had amazing parents, like top of their field parents, supportive network, like support all these things. And it's like, look at what happens as soon as there's one fucking American abroad comes into it. And it's like that is a convenient fucking telling of how everyone proud of their Britishness, if they hadn't have been, beaten by 60 years of American propaganda, would feel that. They'd be like, yeah, Americans. Fucking American. Both sides. And because now we've got such high level, exposure. We've got such a good, like, you think you're projecting into our countries, but you are being watched by the world. And it's quick succession. It's like the bullshit fucking left of the Americans and now the bullshit right. And it's like, end result, America is a filthy fucking violent shithole. And I don't think it's like when it comes to like, you're Americans, you're France, and the Americans are not very nice people. It's like, you've got to hear it from an Australian fucking guy dressed in women's clothing to get the point. So you were a filthy, fucking, violent, drug-infested fucking shithole. All of you, both sides, Hollywood, the Republican Party, the Democratic Party, Wall Street, fucking Las Vegas, fucking YouTube, Facebook, Google, Apple, all of it. You are a fucking sick and twisted, very ill nation of cocksuckers. It's like there is 50,000 people in Greenland, right, that are being used as pawns in a game while different sides of an invasionary force onto American soil argue about where they put the immigrants. And yet over here, it's like my family's been in Australia for 180 years. One immigrant woman who has still not responded was able to ruin every single step of my fucking life with no response. No response. So, and it's like, same color, same ethnicity, basically. Like we're a hop, skip, and a jump away from each other. And all you need to do is like go back and look at American history when the Irish arrived there. This is like you're way down in the weeds now, and you still haven't sorted out those fucking problems. We're the same. But there is no solution. The solutions are difficult on both sides. And you can't like in an inflating bullshit economy that has only increased with things like Hollywood, because Hollywood's like it's the archetype for inflation. It's like how much are you paid? If I take it in my defensive action in the last 5 years, the combined amount of video content and work, this is work I've done voluntarily to defend my country, and I compare that to Mark Ruffalo's work and his paycheck for the last whatever, to pretend to be a fucking comic book hero. Can we see why we're in this fucking mess and why you were the most ridiculous person to be fucking doing anything? And I don't like beating up on Hollywood because it's like it could be such a wonderful thing, and it should be, and it does connect to things that I love, like the tradition of theatre and storytelling, all of that. It's not your craft that I have a problem with. It's your constant provocation on this line, a line that shouldn't exist. There is more than two fucking solutions to every fucking problem. And the one thing I see with Donald Trump and the ICE agents and the Republic, all these things, like they're actually adjusting to your critique. But they would do that if you would just politely do it. You don't have to get in their face. So all that manpower wasted of people fucking just disrupting it, which is just going to make it take longer, that should be forming as a true Democratic Party. But you can't get there because you can't actually organize anything other than a protest. Yet. But a protest, it's not exactly a totally simple thing to do. So there is so much hope. It's just like, let's just do one more thing. Hey, instead of just protesting and disrupting ICE, next time we do that, let's do one other fucking thing together. And then the next time we do that, let's do two fucking things. There's things like, if you took that entire protest force in Minnesota, right, and you went and actively, instead of disrupting ICE, you let ICE do what they're going to do, and you go and clean up yards and paint fences and wash cars or whatever the fuck it is of all the elderly people in those communities that, understandably, more than likely voted for Donald Trump to come and do this job. Okay? Because they're sitting in their houses surrounded by gun-carrying, drug-dealing fucking, extremist fucking ethnicities from all around the world with no way to defend themselves. You cannot, and you're just amplifying that. You've turned so their places were already basically a war zone because of your invasion, which you have to admit to. And now you're amplifying that invasion in their streets. And there is no strategy here. These people will keep demanding more because you're now invading them to a higher level, that now there's absolute violence. Now there's absolute fucking chaos. And now it actually does resemble a true fucking war zone because it was a war. You shifted a bunch of people into a place to make a fucking point about how much you can care for the world and how fucking understanding and, whatever liberal you all are. but you just keep going to other people's places and disrupting them. And it's like, just try and fucking help them. You know what I mean? It's so much. It's funny. It's like if the Democrats of America, if there's ice and snow on the road, it's like, go and drive the plows and let the fucking ice in and out. Help them do their job. Help, like, make sure that they're being following humanitarian guidelines in a way that isn't a dystopian fucking de-elevation to street level fucking violence. That's your job. There is a left hand and a right hand in a fight, okay? But both fucking ones are punching. This is like, you can't forge a country in. So when we took land as British, we took it as British people. It is a long process of assimilation, of education, of all these things. You can't just bring people from a completely different culture and expect them to fight your war for you. That's the most imperial fucking bourgeois fucking white supremacist fucking ideology there is. And that's you. You've been calling Donald Trump a Nazi and a fascist and a fucking racist for so long that you can't see what this looks like from everywhere else in the world. You've moved as a bunch of white fucking movie stars have brought a bunch of dark and brown people and Asian people into their fucking country to fight a fucking war for them because they won't fight it themselves. Do you know what I mean? The biggest shortcut I have of being proud of my history is that I can see clearly I'm not presenting a false utopian fucking representation of who I think I am. And so I can see the hypocrisy in other people when they try and pretend that they're not doing this. Our country's doing the same. We had our Prime Minister literally go to Ayers Rock or Uluru, which I think both should be called. In Australia, there's 1,500 different Aboriginal words for fucking water. So I think having a big rock in the middle of Australia having two names is okay. Most divorcees have two names. Children are expected to have two names now. Anyway, but it's like he went there and cried about the torment of the Aboriginal people, and then is invading the country with people that will have a longer chance of assimilatively genociding, which means, dark people will fuck dark people worse than white people can ever do. Unfortunately, and all you need to do is look at South Africa to see this in real fucking time. But that is the hypocrisy. That is the hypocrisy of the left, because you're really just being poked and prodded by China, by Russia. Russia, majoritively white, majoritively still uniformed Russian Slavic culture. So obviously I have Muslims and things there, but it's like the vast moving force of that is that, and China's the same, white, imperial fucking monolithic, homogenous fucking culture. The only defense that America has is to do the same. And then the solution has to be Africa. Right? So Africa is the elephant in the room, and it's literally mostly where all the elephants are as well. So that's weird. Like, the world needs to come together and make a home for the African people, or the most African people in Africa. And it's not as simple as just leaving them there. If we did the same as what the American Democrats are doing in the United States to Africa, there would be genocides after genocide after genocide. If it wasn't for all the guns that America has, these people you moved in would already be genociding the local population, the elderly, the vulnerable, which is all the same arguments you use for this fucking vaccine mandate bullshit. It's like, Wake up and smell the fucking people burning and realize that you're fucking goose stepping your way around the country. And Donald Trump isn't. It's really easy to call Donald Trump a Nazi, to call him a fascist. Really, really, really easy. But don't ever forget that the fucking Nazis kept their shit secret. Even from a lot of their people. So the Nazis are the Democrats. They're the left. They always have been. It's like the far right, they're Nazis. Okay, but they were left. They were National Socialists. National Socialists. Not national capitalists. Not national protectors or fucking, liberal. All these, it's like national socialists. And I guess this would be best described as like, this is what is aligning in America on the left would be an anarchistic national socialist hellscape. It's you're at the low tide mark of socialist communist ideology, like, because, and it's actually becomes clear that there is manipulation from the outside in the form of China, because China, and this is actually a deep, and I'll bring the chess pieces out, and pretty much checkmate fucking China, because you tried it too quick, which is that's hilarious, because that's your claim to fame, is that you think long term. But you were so greedy to capture the United States that you didn't allow your allies in the form of the Democratic Party to actually succeed, to actually thrive in their communism, because communism doesn't work. So you tried to you were too aggressive, and it's exposed. You couldn't give them the actual fucking concrete foundations to establish a similar communist party to you, because then you wouldn't be able to defeat them as quickly. So you gave them a fucking, or you provoked them into a anarchistic fucking National Socialist communism, which is just Mad Max fucking hell. And you're hoping to sweep the floor. Come in as the fucking saviors against the fucking, it's like, but we will continuously, we'll put fucking uniforms on the protesters. We'll show the whole thing. We have the whole fucking thing. We have all the people. It's like, you had all the fucking same infrastructure that the Nazis had. You did all the same types of fucking things. All of it. Every single bit of it. And it just didn't work, because I guess China thought that they can play this false game where they're like, well, Trump is the Hitler that you all wish you had, that you don't have, despite you all being Nazis, because China is the Democratic Party's Hitler, and that is too short a fucking trajectory. And they just didn't expect the British Empire to fucking reform like a phoenix from the fucking ashes and come in and defend the realm again. Do you know what I mean? We are going to defend the realm. China, we would politely ask you to leave all of this alone. You're 100% exposed. And from now on, the Chinese Communist Party will just be called the Chinese Hitler Party. And then everyone will be clear along the lines. We'll all understand exactly what's going on. The Chinese Hitler Party has caused mayhem across the Western world. And my guess is that they were hoping to create digital Hitler. And based on my YouTube feed, they're all aboard that. Because the thing is, when you have digital Hitler, then you can call everybody Hitler. Then you can call it's like Hitler's there. The left will see Donald Trump as Hitler, and as I said, the right will see the other people as whatever. But they haven't seen the left as Hitler yet, and they haven't seen China as Hitler yet, despite the fact that everybody who's now viewing Hitler is viewing them more than likely on an iPhone, on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. So it's pretty clear that China built a digital Hitler and is using it to puppeteer the Western world around. Because no one would take a Chinese fucking Hitler seriously. And they know that. And that's why they're upset. They're like, we will never be able to, and that's, I think, Japanese accent was like, we'll never be able to make a Chinese a Hitler. We will make a digital Hitler. And this is that NVIDIA do it. It's like they specialize in video games, all this shit. Then they make a fucking digital fucking AI thing that is basically it's like Walt Disney for Hitler. Okay? And then that is what they're doing. And all we need to do as the West to restore all this is to go, we don't even need Taiwan because all those chips are just your internal fucking digital fucking projection. It's like you took what United States was doing and you stuck it with fucking steroids and crystal meth like you do your fucking slaves in your fucking iPhone factories. And then you projected it around the fucking world. But we don't need any of it. As I said, the only thing I'm using my computer for or AI for or anything is to defend against Chinese Hitler. Digital Chinese Hitler. So what type of fucking stalemate clusterfuck is that? And I'd appreciate it if all Americans would stop fucking bowing down and sucking digital Chinese fucking Hitler's dick. It's weird. Yeah? It's fucking weird. I guarantee this was made in China, but I do like it. It's one of those, it's like a falcon flying around a glass pyramid. Oh, the fucking unicorns fell down again. Oops. Never mind.